What up? It's your boy Z Reviews doing a Moto Force Z2, Moto Z2 Force. Yo, Z squared. Holla. Unboxing. And if you've never seen a Z unboxing, you'll know it's not like any other because the cat will show up. Well, that guy, his cat Xerxes showed up in his. That was actually a good unboxing. I enjoyed that. Can't get over that New York, baby. You could leave New York, but New York don't leave you. So, why did I buy the Moto Z2 Force? Well, let's go scare my cat. Look at that. It's a picture. I'm a new phone. I'm an old phone. Shit's crazy. The world is a crazy place. So, I'll link to this if I can find it in the description. Well, that background. I bought it. I bought this specifically because A, the greatest feature ever to phone on a phone is this. That and then it's like I can just like no, and now it's nothing. Well, Sonos is a weird app, but the notifications, and I know a lot of new phones have just the touch-free notifications, but when other people have their phones and they're like, they have to like, hey, check my phone, I'm just like, every device I've bought, tablet, it's like I keep doing that to make it talk to me, and it doesn't talk to me. This one does, and so will this one. So that's number one. Number two, this is a 5.5-inch screen, and I have some friends with old iPhones, and they're like 4-inch screen or it's like a 2-inch screen. It's so goddamn small. And then my sister M on the M Cooks on the cooking channel bought like the biggest Nexus phone. I forget what it even is called. And it's basically a tablet. And I said, all right, let me try this. And I picked it up and I was just like, and then I couldn't, like, see what, here, watch, ready? I'm gonna reach up and I'm gonna hit that icon in the corner. That icon there in the corner. And if you can't do that on a phone, then something's wrong with your phone. Just in general. Right? It should be a phone. It's a phone. It's as big as a phone should get. If you want like a tablet to read on, buy a tablet to read on. So this is also a 5.5-inch. That was a 32 gig, and I should have sprung when I bought that. Was 64 even an option? I'm not sure. But I'm like, I don't need it. No SD card. 64 with an SD card. I should unbox it if I'm unboxing. That's taped. That's taped. More important, this device is sold to you for use on T-Mobile and is not for commercial resale. That's another thing. I'm on AT&T because this apartment only works with AT&T. And T-Mobile and AT&T share the GSM thing. So I'm going to have to call or have my friend call T-Mobile and be like, yo, unlock my phone. Unlock this phone because I don't have the unlocked version out yet, but it's the same thing. And once you buy a phone, now you are required to unlock it if you, just checking. Hello, Moto. Also, another feature I like about this, wubba-dubba-dub-dub. What's the weather in Saskatchewan? It takes a little longer because it has to open Google search. You can't just like, but...
It's 70 degrees and mostly cloudy in Saskatoon.
Saskatoon. First of all, it says Saskatchewan, but it's telling me the weather in Saskatoon. So that's Google's fault, not Motorola's. I also got it with the wood back. I never put a case in this phone. I never put a screen protector in this phone. And that's going to come important when I start pulling out that son of a bitch. I never put a case in the phone. I just wrapped it in a speaker surround foam, which is a video on this channel of me doing that. I got the teak back. I had reddit.com/r/zreviews because that's Zeos, because that thing bought this phone. It was my reason for having it, was to answer questions. I like the fact that it has a headphone out. I can't believe I have to say that now, but it's 2017, and guess what this doesn't have? Guess what the guy who reviews headphones doesn't have in his phone? A headphone out. Yeah, we're getting to it. I actually didn't know that. I did all the research on this, and I just said, oh, okay. It had some reviews. It is bigger. It's longer, but you know, ladies like it a little btle bit longer. Just a little bit longer. So let's see. Compared to the oh, by the way, this is Moto X Gen 2. Same width, that much more length. So you're looking at about a ½ inch. Thickness, hard to, actually it's definitely thinner than my original phone. My original phone bubbled out, which by the way, my friend did cell phone repair for years. And when I moved here, and I've had this phone for 3 years, and the reason I had to get a new phone is not because the screen is damaged, and not because it doesn't connect, it's not because it restarts randomly. What happens to this phone is if I look at the battery life, and it says 87%, it's half dead. When it hits 78% and I go to take a picture, it shuts off. So I just murdered the battery. 3 years, it's never shut off in 3 years. It's been off for probably a total. And this is going to be an actual accurate guess. I'm going to say in 3 years, this phone has been powered down fully for 5 or 6 days. And that's just because it basically has died and I didn't notice it. That's a lot. That's 1,000 days on 5 days off. So murder battery. And to get into this, in all modern phones apparently, it's glue. It's glued together. So he said I'd have to heat the whole phone up and then I have to pry the thing out, and he hates doing that. And then this is the wood back, which was an extra like $25 back in the day. And now he's never taken one apart with the wood back, and it'll probably snap because it's not plastic. Plastic will just bend. But the wood might snap. And it was just like, oh, and by the way, if you break this screen, it was $220. So this was an expensive, stupid, great phone, and I love it. And I love the shape. I love the curved shape of it, which this does not have. But the Moto mods, when I get them, is going to fix that. I actually bought one of the just the covers. We'll get to all that bullshit. Which is basically I'm reviewing my old phone and the new phone, and I'm explaining why and how. Now, never put a case on it. Did foam. Dropped this many times. Never broke the screen. I know the screen could break. That is a shatter shield screen, which won't break. The reason it won't break is the glass is soft. This has been in my pocket on and off, usually in my back pocket, screen forward, so my butt cheeks gently massage it, keeping it clean. But it has ended up in my side pocket with my keys, and my keys look like this. And there's lots of sharp, scary things, and it's just, there's no... Clean it off of my shirt. Give me a second, Bach Bear. Look at her, judging me. I should get out a goddamn just thing and clean it. I can promise you, there are no imperfections or scratches in the screen. After 3 years of use, not abuse, I didn't put a screen, I didn't put a case in this phone for a very simple reason. All my friends who put their otter boxes on there, otter cases, are like, yeah, I got an otter case, and they fucking fling it onto the table and shit because I got the otter case. Stop. It's an expensive piece of equipment that you should take care of. All this audio equipment and shit, take care of it. Take care of something. If you don't put it in an otter case, guess what? You're mentally going to be like, I better take care of this and be careful and put it in my pocket, not drop it, and do all these things. Now, life happens, and you could be on the shitter, and all of a sudden you're like, and just drop it in somehow into the toilet with you. I'm assuming you're in a giant toilet. You're sitting way back. So that could happen, and if you want to put a case in it, if you've got kids, put them in a case. But as an adult male, I was like, I'm just going to be very careful with my phone. That was it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be very careful with my phone. Look, it's Nicolas Cage, caged in a Nicolas Cage cage. That's what this phone has done. It's done Telegram, it's done music control, it's done weather, battery life, and then if I pull out on the side, I gotta install, oof. I love that. So much better than the icons. So you're looking at a 3-year improvement. Hello, Moto. Yeah, it's just fluff. Let's see what else we got. Books and shit, as he said. Yeah, that's definitely what that is. What kind of... Oh, so get this. So I'm running AT&T, and this is a T-Mobile phone. I'm not getting T-Mobile. Unlocking it and switching over to AT&T, so I'll tell you how that goes. That is to pop out the SIM. I have actually 2 of those that came with the FIOs, the FIO players. That is a very small book. Usually they just have this shit unfold. That is literally a book. How does it? I have to put this down. It's adorable. I just want to see myself in the toilet. Chewbacca, look. It's a Chewbacca-sized book. You want to read the book, terms and conditions? Actually, it might even be, I guess if Chewbacca was a human and had a book in one hand or one paw. Give me one paw. Give me a paw. Not a face. Give me a paw. She's not well trained enough. Here, look. Hold this. Hold your book and you read that. Please do not misplace this label. Attach this claim for service and repair. That's important. Leave that there. Here's a T-Mobile SIM, which I will not be installing. Or maybe I have to install it for them to talk to it. We'll see. My friend's got to work that out. Welcome Start Guy Moto Force Z, and I'm definitely going to flip through this. I watched a couple reviews. The basic complaint, and you're just a thin piece of paper. The basic complaint was screen can get scratched. So for the first time, a phone that I own in 3 years will have a protective, I bought the hardened glass to go on top of this. Because it's a 3-pack, it was like $8. I'll link it in the description. And that's basically all I'm buying that. And since it's so thin and since it only has a 2700 milliamp battery, the Snapdragon chip that it's using is actually really efficient. So it still gets like 28 hours of just idle, like it'll just run for over a day, just running. But if you like watch video, or you know what, maybe way more than that. I don't remember the actual numbers. I know talk time was like 12 hours and watching videos is like 18 hours. Considering this phone dies in like 2.5 hours, and it's been doing that for the last, it's been getting progressively insanely worse for the last 6-7 months. This lasting like 5 hours without having to be charged is going to be a goddamn godsend. How do I like the feel of it? All right, well, I'd almost prefer if the edge, I know that everything's got to be designed, it's got to be designed well, it's got to be designed, design it well. But I feel like these edges need texture. If I'm not going to put a case on it, like something that goes over the edge, and I'm only going to replace the black, I might adhere something very, very small to this, because this is very shiny and slick. It feels like the inside of my goddamn cooking pan. My brand new, what's that shit called that you cook on, that nothing sticks? Non-stick fucking coating that everyone's known the name of it since 1971. I don't remember. This is cool. I watched the video on this because where this phone and most phones, you get the 3 buttons on the bottom for home, back, and switch apps. Nicolas Cage. But anytime you open an actual app, those take over the bottom portion of the screen. And this removes those 3 buttons entirely, and you just have this, which is the fingerprint scanner, which is actually, I guess that's this? Not really. It's recessed pretty far in there. I guess it's going to work, and it just like basically does that. So that's your biometric reader. That's also those 3 buttons off the screen. So the screen ends there, and I want to uncover this real bad and turn it on for you, and I probably will. But this is now tap for home, I think swipe for back, and swipe the other way, or whatever. It places those buttons, so it's going to be interesting. Dual back cameras, which do a thing with, I hope those are just dirt marks, because I haven't done anything to this phone, and if it's scratched already, I'm going to be really pissy. Pissy little girl. Moto mods. So moto mods. If you don't know what moto mods are, you're under a rock. I could attach a Hasselblad camera, I could attach a projector, little JBL sound thing. None of that matters to me. All that matters to me is that there's battery packs you could slap onto the back of this. Because you can't change the battery in this phone. And my friend from Connecticut had a phone that I love my phone. I could change the batteries anytime. I have 3 batteries. But he had to shut his phone off, pop the back out, pull the battery out, put the new battery in, pop the back on, and then start his whole phone again. And I'm just like, well, that's, I guess, look, it's better than what my phone was doing, but not really, because I just carried around one of those Anchor battery chargers. And when my phone battery was dying, I plugged it in and put it in my pocket and had a little wire. And then it would just charge, and then I'd unplug that and be done in 3 hours. Where this, I'm going to get to just slap an entire massive battery to the back of it. So if I start with this fully charged and then slap that on, that's 3 days. That's a weekend. I could go away and not even bring a phone charger. And then I plan on buying at least 2 or 3 of those battery backups, leaving one in my car. So let's say I do the whole weekend thing, and it's like, you know what? I've been looking at a lot of high quality, not porn, So I need to change it. Just magnetize, it goes pop off. Phone never has to shut off. Pop another one on. That's another day and a half, 2 days. Maybe just full 2 days. I'm getting this because, yes, it doesn't have a replaceable battery, but with that, it doesn't need a replaceable battery. That's better than a replaceable battery. Because I could just take it off and charge it. Where if you had, you couldn't charge, my friend from Connecticut with his phone, you had to charge the battery in your phone and then take it out and put the other one. If you had 3 dead batteries, you would just basically, your phone had to sit still being charged. So this can come off, and I'm pretty sure the Moto mods can be charged separately. How am I liking the... God, it's so thin. And I'm not a big fan of like, oh, thin. Thin TVs. Thin TVs are super important. No, they're not. They go on a wall, and it doesn't matter if they're 2 inches thick or 1 1/8 thick, because you're never going to see it because you're in this dimension. Then you need a bracket that's super thin, and this TV I actually put on the thinnest bracket possible. It's like 3/8 of an inch thick. Look at it. It's so fucking thin. But it doesn't matter because the TV still exists. However, with a projection screen, the TVs don't exist. In fact, you could project it right on the wall, and then it's as thin as the microns of light that are, well, actually, the light exists in microns. I guess the microns of material being illuminated. Actually, question for the ages, Chewbacca. Does the light hitting a surface make the surface thicker because it's doing, I mean, it's got to be doing something to the surface. You're seeing light. That's either a shower thought or an Ask Reddit science question. Is an illuminated surface thicker because of the light hitting it? All right. Let's turn this bitch on. Also, the camera on this was pretty good for the time. I took it to Japan, and I was all right with it. But, like, my thumbnails on YouTube, on the big review channel, are all taken with that. And if the lights aren't perfect, it looks like ass. If it's dark, forget it. Just don't even, I don't even take pictures in the dark. That's how bad it was. Yeah. Getting the titanium here is nice, but I could do better. Maybe I'll custom print out an anime waifu for that. No, I don't think I'll go that far. Now, I've been told by everyone that I know and by all the reviews that this is going to scratch. It's like even a fingernail might scratch it. So we're going to be super fucking careful. I might put this even back on because I'm waiting for the glass to show up probably in 2 days. So we got what now? That's power on the bottom. Textured is power on the bottom, and these 2 close ones are volume, which is the exact opposite of the way these are lined up. Why? Why would you do that? I mean, I guess there's reasons, but all right. 2. Nice. Vibrator. The vibrator. Front flash, by the way, which, again, I don't...
Hello, Moto.
She is unimpressed. Oh, Jesus, is it going to say all that when I turn it on? Can I make that not happen? English United States, let's go. Welcome to your Moto Z. Copy from your data. Set up new Android device or cloud. See, I'm probably going to go through this off camera because I'm sure I'm going to have to enter passwords and things. And it's showing me the left arrow on the screen, even though this exists. So I'm sure once I get through that, I can set that up. And I also want to charge the battery. And I want to talk to my friend about getting my SIM card out of this, which is AT&T. It's an unlocked phone I bought, and getting it onto this, which is now a still T-Mobile as of current phone that has to be connected to the network and bullshit. But yeah. Hey, look, can I adjust anything? I can't do nothing. I don't want to go past the screen right now. I'm going to charge this. Near field communications on. There's no SIM. Bluetooth's on. I'm sure in the future reviews when I'm yelling about... Oh, USB Type-C, thank God. Sure, in the future reviews when I'm yelling about how things don't connect properly, I will talk more about my Fizzone. Or maybe I'll just review my phone after a week of actually using it and tell you what I think. But for an unboxing, it's unboxed. I never actually went through the rest of the shit. And that's annoying that I have to put this down, and it's got this popped out camera that is totally going to get damaged on the edges. You sleep. I'll put it down on some paper. So the size difference, and I have started peeling off the thing. Width is the same, a little more height. Is it lighter? have his kitchen scale before I leave it. We will have to negate the weight of a SIM card and 2 pieces of foam. God, that unit's dirty. Let's take it out of ounces. We'll go to grams for you normal people. 146 grams on my old phone. 140 grams. So unless you count 6 grams of foam and a SIM card, it's actually lighter than my... It's bigger and lighter than my old phone. My mind is blown. Alright, last things, whatever. What's in the box? What's in the box? Power charger, which I'm going to probably use to charge this. Even though I don't... No matter what anyone says, quick charging your phone murders things. I mean, I don't have to really worry because I could just slap a battery thing on the back of it at some point. But I refuse to, like, overnight, if I'm sleeping, I'm not going to put it on, like, a 15-watt charger. Because I'm sleeping. I don't need my phone to just slowly charge. What do we got? Just a standard USB-C. Nice rubberized feel. Talking about cables is what... It's what I do, darling. It's what I do. A grab and a yank. Try to straighten it out a little bit. How many amperes? Made in China. This does 5 volt, 9 volt, and 12 volt. 3 amp, 1.6 amp, and 1.2 amp. So this will throw 12 volts out of that. So that'll murder charge. And I don't want to murder charge my phone. I understand the need to murder charge a phone and like, oh shit, I gotta go. Murder charge my phone, quick, I gotta do things. And most of the time I try to avoid that, highly. And here is the extra piece of shit that I gave a lot of shit to Apple about removing it, and then I gave a lot of shit to Samsung, and now Motorola's done it, and I'm like, well, fuck. Well, just fuck. Because here is my headphone jack. My USB to headphone jack. And you got this little wire thingy that you can keep track of it. And basically I'm going to end up losing this entirely. It's gone. It's already gone. You see it here? No, you don't. It's gone. Nothing else in the box. Interesting little side pull box thing going on. Alright. Time to charge that phone. Probably on a slow charger. Feed my cat. Cook some breakfast. And then work out how to hook that up to AT&T, even though it's a T-Mobile phone. I gotta unlock it. So do things. I'm about to do things. And then we'll talk about it later when I'm actually swiping through shit.